Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, make sure to subscribe because the bells will get paid for themselves. Help us out. Like seriously, like I'm gonna be real with y'all, the views are decreasing a little bit. The JoJo Siwa momentum, I mean it's still there. It's just not as big as it used to be, so literally help me out and like keeping the views up, please. Madonna, Madam X, MDNA, Vogue, any other name she's given herself in the eras. Madonna is back with a new album, and oh my god, like there is so much here. There is so many things I wrote for this album. This is her first album in 4 years, and oh my god, I think we should just get to it. Let's get right to it. I have a lot to say, I have a lot to talk about. So if you want to see my review of Madonna's new album, Madam X, then keep on watching. Wow, what an album. Wow, like this album just took my breath away. Like it literally did. I'm just gonna start off by praising this album in the sense that it is such a good album. It took my breath away, and if I'm honest, like I'm just gonna say it now. Like I know we're literally just 1 minute into the video, but I might as well just say it now. It is amongst one of the best albums of the decade this year. Like it is that good of an album. However, I do want to take you guys back to when the first single came out, which was Medellin. Now when Medellin came out, I was actually a bit, you know, like, I don't know if this album is gonna be that good. Like, was it really worth the 4-year wait? I was one of those people that was really skeptical of the first single because it sounded, when I first heard it, it sounded to me like almost every other, you know, Hispanic American crossover song that there was and that there has been for the past 3 years. It sounded similar to every other crossover, and I just really didn't find anything unique to it. It didn't feel like a Madonna song. It felt like something a little bit more different. But as I kept listening to the song and as I kept, you know, going through the lyrics and I saw the music video, it started to grow on me. I will admit, it definitely started to grow on me a lot more, and I actually started to like it. Now, the other songs she chose to release prior to the album, I will say, were not the best choices to release before the album, and if I'm honest, at the same time, I think they were the best choices as well because they didn't give too much away of the whole, you know, grand picture of the whole album. I feel like these songs were just even like the smallest minuscule amount of the big picture that this album is going to be. So I think it was really smart that she chose like not the best songs in the album to release before, but at the same time I feel like it did kind of sway people the wrong way and kind of maybe gave people the idea that this album wasn't going to be as good. But you know, I hope that people who thought the album wasn't going to be as good listen to the album. You really have to listen to the full body of work in order to get the whole meaning of the album. And honestly, like this album just has such a beautiful concept. To me, it is just so beautifully made. This is by far some of Madonna's best work. Like I'm saying it now. I've been a fan of hers for over 9 years now, since 2011, and I've been in the fandom. I've been in the fandom for like the past 3 album eras: MDNA, Rebel Heart, and Madam X. And I like both prior albums. I do like Rebel Heart a lot, and I do like MDNA a lot, but this album just knocks it off of the park. This album is so much better than those 2 albums combined. Like it is so beautiful, and also this album just is a whole journey. It's a whole ride from start to finish. When you start from Medellin to I Rise, it takes you through so many emotions, and it takes you through so many avenues of life, and it also takes you through so much depth, but also it talks about finding love and being lonely and having fun and being socially aware and politically aware of the world around you. And look, I am not a political person at all. Like that's just not my thing. That's just not my avenue. So when I saw some of the track listing for this song, I was like, oh, this is gonna be a political album. And you know, I'm not really for it. It's just not my thing. However, I think she did a really good job at, yes, making some of the songs a bit political, but not to the point where it's going to anger certain people that she's talking about certain things. She comes across the politics of this record not in an angry way, not in an aggressive way, not in a you're right and I'm wrong type of way. I guess in a sense of just being aware of what's going on around the world, and also just being aware of the different sides of people and coming across politics not from a left or right perspective, but from a human perspective, which gives it a better meaning to politics. I don't know if I'm making sense of myself, but I'm making sense in my head, which is good. I think the collaborations were perfectly picked. You know, once listening to the whole record, I realized that, you know, these collaborations could not have been better. I think she picked the best people for the right songs, and some of the songs come across beautifully within the collaborations. I think each one of the songs where there is somebody else in the song, I feel like they complement one another within not just the vocals but also the lyrics and how the song is built and constructed. I think these collaborations were picked perfectly. There's collaborations from Maluma, Quavo, Sway Lee, and Anita. I think those are the only collaborations in the album, but they're picked beautifully. Like, the songs work well, the collaborations work well, and everything syncopates beautifully into the record. What caught me by surprise is the sounds in this record. I think the sounds are unlike anything we really hear, or unlike anything that is utilized in American pop music. I know some of these sounds are used in, you know, Latin American, Brazilian, and Italian sometimes music, but in American pop music, you know, these sounds, you rarely hear them. And some sounds you don't even hear at all in songs, and the way she incorporated them and the way she really blended and fused everything together is beautiful, and it is wonderful, and it makes this album even more impeccable. The one funny thing I did, you know, because I used GarageBand for a lot of my album, Life of a Comedian, is that for the song I Don't Search, I Find, she pretty much built an entire song just based on a GarageBand loop. And I know it's a GarageBand loop because I used it for one of my songs in the Life of a Comedian that never got to see the light of day because it is now in the vault and that song will never come out. But I used that exact same loop that in the beginning of the song to create the whole song as well. I did the same thing, and I found it funny that she did the same thing too. Great minds think alike. Personally, I believe this album was worth the long wait. It just was worth the long wait. I feel like she's been teasing this album since 2017 because she would post pictures of herself in the studio and everything, and throughout the remainder of last year she also did the same thing. And ever since then I was just so excited. I was so intrigued by what she was creating in Lisbon, because obviously it is, you know, a bit of an odd country to move to, but you know, if you hear her and her explanation as to why she moved to Lisbon, it kind of makes sense. But I was also really intrigued by the type of art she would create being in Lisbon. Will it sound the same to her past work? Will this be something completely different? Will this take everybody by surprise? And it definitely took everybody by surprise. And I'm just going to go on the record and say this is one of the most cohesive albums of 2019 so far. It is that good of an album. It is incredible. It is amazing. It is beautiful. It is painful. It is alive. It is lovely and lively and wonderful and conscious and aware, and it definitely does not disappoint. To me, some of the standout songs were Dark Ballet, God Control, Killers Who Are Partying, Crazy, Faz Gostoso, and Looking for Mercy. Looking for Mercy, that song nearly brought me to tears. That's how good that song was. That song nearly brought me to tears. It was that beautiful. Killers Who Are Partying, I don't really know how to say that word now. That song, you know, incorporated music that you don't hear in pop music these days before. This entire album incorporates sounds and melodies and, you know, lyrics that you don't really hear in pop music anymore. And I feel like that's what makes Madonna, is that she doesn't do what everyone else is doing right now in the pop music realm. She does her own thing. She paves her own way, and she has paved her own way for the past 30 plus years, and that's why she's still on top. That's why she's the queen of pop, and that's why at 60 people are still interested in what she's doing and what she's creating and what she's formulating, because she always brings a fresh new breath of air with every album that comes out. Madame X tour. Will I go to the Madame X tour? I don't know, because I had registered for the tickets when they did the whole reservation and registering thing. I didn't get any tickets. I signed up for all 11 shows and I got none of them, and I had enough in my bank account to like buy 2 tickets like in the front row. So that was a bit upsetting, but I think we'll be fine. I might go. There's like 11 shows here in LA, and then there's like 3 in Las Vegas. So I've got a lot to choose from, but after listening to this album, I really, really do want to go, because I want to hear this music live. I want to hear Fascistoso live, and I want to hear Killers Who Are Partying live, and I want to hear God Control live. Oh my god, imagine that song live! Oh my goodness, that would be amazing. Like, that would honestly be so amazing. Overall, I give this album a 10 out of 10. It is that incredible, and it is that amazing, and it is that beautiful, and I recommend you all go listen to it because it is that good. It is an hour and 5 minutes of your life that you will enjoy, that you will love. It'll take you through a journey. It'll take you through a roller coaster. It'll take you inside the world of Madame X. And because I love this album that much, I will leave a link down below to where you can listen to the album on Spotify, buy it on iTunes, buy her merchandise, and buy tickets to her Madame X tour. So all the links will be down below. You're welcome, Madonna. Like, it is that good of an album. I'm leaving all the links down below. And anyways, with that being said, I'm gonna end this video here. Thank you very much for watching my review of Madonna's new album, Madame X. Let me know your opinions and thoughts down below of the album, and as well subscribe if you're new, because the bills get paid for themselves. Help us out, and I will see you tomorrow with another video.